So I'm dating. I've been dating for about 8 months, and I date to marry. That's my mindset with it. I'm not dating just for fun and stuff. And obviously, my girlfriend's the same. And so at 8 months, it's kind of hit a stage where we're thinking about what engagement marriage looks like. General timeline, or just how we envision that and what life could be after that together. And I go through these phases. I kind of oscillate between being really excited about that and really wanting that and to build with her and like wanting to put the ring on her finger, with also this like just different fears, right? And it's not things that she's doing or coming from her. It's just me struggling to, I think, adjust to a new way of living and a new version of myself, see myself in a different light than what I've been used to for 21 years, 22 years, actually. I forgot I turned 22 a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. I think you all can understand that as well. If you've ever had a serious relationship and really thought about marriage, like, it's just a scary thing. That's just the nature of it, because it's probably one of the biggest, at least, decisions you'll make in your whole life. And it's going to have massive impact for you and that other person, and even other people outside of the two of you. So it's a very weighty decision, and it can be scary when you're balancing, like, on one end, wow, I think we have a lot of potential. She's awesome. We're awesome. Like, I really like how our relationship is, and see so much good coming from it. You got that one on one side, and then on the other side, it's like, man, people change. Like, I look around and I see all these really terrible relationships that people are just trapped and they hate each other and they're miserable. And, who am I to say that I know better after dating for 8 months? And like, yeah, and there's parts of you that's like, you want to be slow, you want to be careful, you want to take your time. And there's also the side where it's like, bro, you also need to grab your balls and like do things in life. And it's unfair to everyone, I think, to date someone for like years and years and it just be this like, oh, I don't know, we're figuring this out, we're seeing where it goes, we're feeling it out. I think in that situation, you either have commitment problems or you weren't dating to marry in the first place. That wasn't the goal when you started dating. And I don't know, I guess it could turn into that, but maybe it's just coming to that hard realization for the two of you guys. So all to say, but I'm not putting myself in like, I just figured out and I know what I'm doing. I'm trying to say the opposite, to be honest with you. Like, I feel the tension between those two sides a lot right now. It gives me some comfort, just the fact that I'm thinking about it, to be real with you guys. Like, I don't know how, but I think there are people out there that just do not think that hard about something like marriage. And like I said, it's the biggest freaking decision of your life and another person's life. Like, you have responsibility for not just how it's going to affect you, but how it's going to affect someone else. And some people just don't think that hard about it. Regardless, I got a little sidetracked there, so. But I want to share something, at least one thing that I can say to this that has given me comfort and peace in the stage that I'm in right now. It's going to sound unrelated at first, but bear with me. So 2 years ago, for a summer, I took a road trip. It was kind of just me, like, feeling myself, just independence, freedom, do what I want, So I put a little platform in my car that I could sleep in, and I packed up stuff, and I didn't even have a plan of like where exactly I was going to go. I just started driving around the US. 50 days in total, sleeping in my car and literally just going where the wind took me. I had a friend do something similar, and it kind of inspired it for me. But Awesome experience, by the way. If you are in a place where you have margin to do that, like, do it, or something similar, because it's a totally different life from when you have like to have absolutely zero routine. It's really interesting because you have to build that internally. Like, I actually became a lot more disciplined and more routine when I was out there in a weird way about like my things day to day and planning and stuff. I used to suck at planning, but like I got really good at that as a result of this trip, because you don't have things like school or work or relationships, whatever. Like, it's literally just you out. And so that, and also did a lot of just self work and seeing yourself, like being places when nobody knows you and you have no prior connection to it. You really see who you are in a different way, like who the current version of you is, not the version that people got to know in high school, or that your family's known since you were a baby. And anything is, it's cool. I'm derailing, but something I experienced in that trip though. Awesome trip. This, that, cool. Like, I had all these cool stories, people I met, things I did. And when I came back, I felt weirdly empty with it. What I realized is that because I did all that by myself and I didn't share that with anybody besides, the people I met or whatever here and there. But like the experience on the whole was only in my head, and it only exists there now. And it's just so much less valuable or less fulfilling that way. So all I say, I think something I learned from that is like I want to do life with people. Before that, I was very single mindset wise, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna be digital nomad. I'm gonna travel places. I'm gonna just like. I've always had a high value on my freedom and autonomy and just like doing what I want. And so for me, it was like looking at marriage as like, dang, that's a box, And I'm not trying to tie myself down to a person and kids and a house. And it's like, no, dude, I got things I want to do. I don't want anything holding me back. Which I think can be cool when you're young. But the bit that I've experienced that through the road trip, or, my life in general before I met Giovanna. And I mean, it's not just romantic relationships too. Obviously deep friendships or family connections, like they see you and they experience life with you in the same way or a similar way. But dude, life is just so much fuller when you experience it alongside someone else, at least one other person. When you have someone that sees you through the ups and downs, and you see them through the ups and downs, I feel like that's what it's all about. Yeah. One other thought, just for you guys that can kind of relate to me on the having a large need for like freedom and independence, but also have thought about and want or are in a relationship, and you're worried about that being, restrictive to you or suffocating in some way, even if it's like healthy and happy. Just that's like a box you're putting yourself in, and you're worried about that. I think that's a bit of a false binary. All right, like, oh, marriage means trap. Marriage means less time, less freedom, this, that. And single means the exact opposite. It means like I have all that autonomy, I have all that freedom. Generally, yes. But I think where we could go wrong is just to totally equate those. And like I said, false binary, like it's one way or the other, and that we don't say, hey, I can build a relationship with somebody that allows that desire to still be fulfilled in whatever way like I need over time, because that'll evolve and change. Or hey, I could be single and still feel really boxed in and restricted by the life that I live. So Disassociating those things for me has been important. If you build a relationship with someone in an honest way and you show them who you are and what you want out of life and what you need, they'll either adapt and come alongside that, or they'll leave if that's not what they're looking for, and that's for the best. That's what unhappy marriages are, is people that don't clearly and honestly communicate who they are and what they want off the bat, until they find out 20 years later that the other's been dissatisfied and bitter and resentful. And that's their fault, you know? So I think this is a really important thing to talk about, and I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. Potentially one of the highest ROI conversations and you can have, or with your significant other, you know, or even just journaling, self-awareness therapy, whatever work that you do. It's not something to shrug off, for sure. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. I appreciate you guys listening and being able to share that a bit. Honestly, even just making this video has been good for me to process verbally out loud some of those things, because they've been on my mind this week. You know, I'm still navigating through some of those thoughts and feelings in the phase that I'm in. So, yeah.